Hello, fight fans. You are listening to another Radulich Broadcasting Network alternative commentary. Tonight, live from Scotland, Top Rank Boxing presents Lee McGregor versus Kash Farooq. Lee McGregor is the Commonwealth bantamweight champion, and Kash Farooq is the British champion, again at bantamweight. This is a pretty big event for ESPN and Top Rank and MTK Global. I'm your host, Mark Radulich, and I'm very excited tonight because we have a new person sitting in the analysis chair. Yes, I finally, after all the begging and pleading and cajoling and arm twisting, somebody stepped up on Twitter and said, hey, I'd like to give this a shot, and boy, are we happy to have him here. Ladies and gentlemen, from Boxing and Brews, Jon War. How do you do, sir?
I'm good, Mark. Thank you for having me. Hello, boxing fans. Hello, boxing fans around the world. I'm excited about this 118 matchup. We see Farooq coming out into the ring right now. Mark, I'm excited. I think it's going to be a good cracker.
Yeah, I'm excited about these two. I tell you what, ESPN Plus has been great for me. It's that middle of the day boxing
Absolutely.
that I really enjoy on a Saturday after a long week's hard work. So tell me, John, about your experience with boxing. How long have you been watching it for? Who do you like? I'm going to tell you right now, if you say Deontay Wilder's the best boxer out there, one of my friends will jump into this phone call from wherever he is and laugh at you. This is what happened last time.
No. Lifelong boxing fan. I'm from Texas. Before I moved to Texas, I'm from St. Louis, so boxing's in my blood. It's in my family. My dad used to order all the big fights. Big Roy Jones Jr. fan growing up. And then I was an amateur from about 18 to 21, off and on. Played a lot of other sports, so I was never truly dedicated, but I never fell out of love with the sport.
Outstanding. Tell us a little bit about your website, Boxing and Brews.
Well, Boxing and Brews is a subsidiary of Hoops and Brews. I started off with a couple guys from California. We cover basketball, and it's really blowing up. But they saw my passion for boxing, and they wanted to expand into that. Because, boxing right now, it's more available now than it has been in a really long time. So they really wanted to get into that market. And so I started writing and reporting and doing reports for them, and it's starting to blow up. And, as you can see, I'm with you now, Mark, so it's getting bigger and bigger.
Absolutely. I tell you, between DAZN and ESPN Plus, both of which I subscribe to, I've never had this much access to boxing. I don't know if I would have become as big a pro wrestling fan had I known there was, had I had this much access to boxing at age 5.
Yeah.
I love it. I know that there are guys that I know that have kind of written boxing off because of... We have a long-standing joke here on the Radulich Broadcasting Network that no matter who's fighting, Canelo wins 120-0.
Yes. Absolutely.
He may or may not have received one or two gift decisions. I can't say, I don't want to slander, but it's a running gag here. And it has driven some of the people I know who were passionate about boxing and are certainly passionate about your yesteryear boxing away from the sport. But, I still like to enjoy grown men hitting each other, so I'm going to keep watching and keep talking about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like you said, there's more boxing on than ever before. It's lovely. And then the access, not just, backyard boxing. Like, we're watching the card of two Scottish, big-timers, man, that we just wouldn't have had access to just a couple years ago.
Yeah, that has been the one benefit of the streaming wars is you have all of now anywhere they can set up a camera on a tripod, you can get boxing, high quality professional boxing from anywhere in the world. I love it. Just a few days ago, as a matter of fact, we watched Inoue versus Donaire at Dark early in the morning on DAZN. There was a fight that was just in Bangkok that was on DAZN. I didn't get a chance to see it yet. But, yeah, it's never been a better time for boxing fans than right now. So let's talk a little bit about this fight, McGregor versus Farooq. Tell me a little bit about McGregor and what you can expect to see from him in the ring.
Well, McGregor, 7-0 coming to the fight. He's bigger than Farooq, about 2 to 3 inches. And even at the weigh-in, I watched the weigh-in, he had to strip naked to make weight, which is not saying he struggled, but it's just something to keep in mind as the fight goes on. He's bigger. He likes to bully the opponent. He loves coming forward. He has a monster right uppercut. And he, as big as he is, as long as he is, he doesn't mind fighting in that phone booth. So I really think we're in for a hell of a fight.
Now let's talk about his opponent, the British bantamweight champion Farooq.
Farooq, a little bit more experience. He's at 13-0. Not as tall, a couple inches shorter, 5'5". I feel he has fought the better opposition, but that's also because he's had a few more fights. Only a few months apart in age, but Farooq is an excellent defensive fighter. He has great balance. He's really accurate, good head movement, and he's technically sound. So his power is going to come from throwing good, crisp, technical punches.
Outstanding. What are your hopes for this fight? What do you want to see?
Man, I honestly don't think anyone's going to knock anyone out. I think these guys are going to try to take it to the deep waters. And they both going to, believe it or not, even though Farooq's smaller, he likes to come forward. So I think what we need to watch is, in those middle to late rounds, who's going to be the one to take a step back? Who's going to be the one that catches it in the head is going to get hurt first? I think that's going to be a major key to victory.
That's been some of the knocks on the lighter weight class fights, whether it's MMA or boxing. Demetrius Johnson, I don't know how much you follow MMA, but he's one of the best MMA fighters in the world. He weighs 10 pounds.
Yes.
So you don't see a lot of knockouts at his weight class, which is flyweight. And that's just an example of some of the frustration that I think the casual fans feel about, combat sports. When you see lighter weight guys in there, like, oh, you're not going to see the fun knockouts. But I'll tell you, it's the lighter weight classes that more often than not bring such great technique to the ring.
Absolutely. They're going to throw a million punches. They're rarely going to get tired. They're going to be tough to the head. And believe it or not, you do get spectacular knockouts with these smaller weights. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but you do get some spectacular knockouts. So I'm excited to see, as they meet in the middle of the ring. I'm excited to see how it's going to play out.
All right, and here we go with round 1 of 12 for these dual titles. Both fighters take the center of the ring, and we see them feeling out for distance. McGregor sort of pawing at Farooq.
Yeah, Farooq has known in his fights to be a fast starter, and McGregor's not going to be one to back up. So
I like McGregor kind of sticking his jab out there, seeing what this guy's going to do. Farooq seems, starting off in this particular fight, a bit cautiously.
Look at the head movement. You see?
Yeah, Farouk's already demonstrating he is not easy to hit.
Not at all.
And I'll tell you, McGregor is seemingly swinging for the hills, but he's not connecting.
No. And I haven't, he in a lot of McGregor's fights, he's had knockouts, so he hasn't gone late many times. So I'm excited to see if he's got this approach, this kind of output, how he does in the second half of the fight.
This is one of those O's has to go situations.
Absolutely.
So
yes.
He's thrown that left hook McGregor has a number of times so far in just this first round, but he hasn't really found a home for it.
No, and I get what he's doing, but I would like for him to stay rangy, especially early, stay behind the jab, let Farooq come in, and then what McGregor knows, try to land that right uppercut and try to land that left check hook as he comes in. But he has to stay behind that jab.
He bullied Farooq a bit in the corner there, but he seems to have backed off now. I like to see tall fighters with the reach fight at distance, use their range. Yeah. It drives me nuts to see such tall fighters fight in a phone booth. Yeah,
and that's just McGregor's style. He can get behind the jab, but he wants to go in there and fight. And I just think Farooq right now is just downloading information.
Yeah, I think it seems like Farooq is just willing to absorb a bit to see what this guy's got, and then a couple of rounds later, when McGregor maybe is a little more tired, start taking advantage. Farooq seems like he's willing to give up a few rounds early on to come on strong later.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, Farooq has good balance, so on that front foot, he'll lean in a little bit He'll take a shot to the head to land 2 or 3 to the body. I want to see when Farooq starts going to the body. That's going to be a big key in this fight.
I like McGregor's takedown there. That was great. It's a rarely used move in boxing, but I have seen it done.
Yeah, and it goes with the name McGregor, I think.
Absolutely. Maybe he'll punch an old man while he's up there. All right, and that is round 1. Clear round for McGregor.
Yeah, just did more work, did the better work. Farooq just seemed to be, like you said, just trying to fill him out, get some information going into the next rounds.
As we see the replay, there was a good left from McGregor that backed Farooq up. Kid can take a punch, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, absolutely. And I didn't see what their weights were coming in tonight, but coming into the fight tonight, but I would imagine that McGregor being a bigger guy is going to have some pop on those punches. Absolutely. He definitely, being the bigger guy, he should use his upper body to his advantage. If he's gonna fight in close, use some shoulder shrugs, kind of maneuver Farooq around a bit. Like don't be afraid to, as you put it before, be a bully. Farooq comes out quick with a 1-2, so maybe he's willing to step it up a little bit in the second round. McGregor backing off to the ropes just a bit. It's interesting. Yeah. Lots of head moving from these guys, as you were saying before. These are. Okay. Yeah. Can you hear me? Yep. Yeah, I lost you there for a second. Yeah, he's definitely going towards the middle. They're tangled up a bit. McGregor just shoves him off. Good uppercut there from Farooq. Not sure how much of it landed, but it looked pretty. In the middle, going toe to toe. Farooq with the head move. I like it. Yeah, good lefts from McGregor. He's utilizing that hook really well. Mm-hmm. McGregor has to keep it rough like that. That's going to Farooq coming with shots to the head, 1, 2, 3. Oh, look at that! Yeah. Oh, am I a little bit ahead? just a touch. It's fine. Okay. No, normally I'm the one that's ahead of the other guys. That's actually really funny. Farooq laid in a good 3-punch combination there. It stunned McGregor. Farooq not really wasting time taking another round off. He really took what he took in the first round and is applying it in this second round. I like it. McGregor seems to be responding by trying to dirty this up just a bit. Not a lot, but he's definitely tied up a few times. He had him once in a front face lock there for a minute. Whenever he gets into trouble with Farooq, he starts to lean on him. Yeah. And that's okay. That's prize fighting. And if Farooq can't handle the heat, he's got to get out the kitchen. But McGregor, to do what he has to do to win, he's got to use that size. He's got to use that tactic. Low shot from Farooq there. That looked like it hit him on the belt line. Yeah. Farooq has had some instances in the past where he's hit below the belt, but that happens with body punchers, and especially a shorter one. Okay, we're starting to see them turn up the heat here. There was some rapid punching there from Farooq to the head. Great round, guys. See, we're starting to see a lot of action here, and Farooq don't take no mess. No, and I actually gave that round to Farooq. I feel like McGregor did more work, but I feel like Farooq did better work. There's a saying we often say on here, and we Canelo 120-0. But besides that, we also say, who would you have rather been in that round? That's the guy who won. Yeah, I like that. See the replays. Farooq stayed in the middle. Yeah, controlled the ring. I like Farooq's head movement. I mean, he's not Mayweather in there, but he's definitely evasive. He's making McGregor throw more punches that aren't landing, which is going to work for him later on in the fight.
Yeah. And I think Farooq and his team, I think they know that, and I think they're going to utilize that. I think they're not going to be I don't think they're going to be so willing to fight in the phone booth early in the fight. They're going to let McGregor just wear himself out.
Round 3.
Good fight so far.
Who did you like in this fight going into it?
I liked Farooq, but only because of the experience.
Okay.
I felt like McGregor was tough enough, and the styles would make a good fight. Yes. Oh, wow.
Lunging left from Farooq knocks McGregor back into the ropes, and he bounces off. Didn't hit a tope or a clothesline or anything. Different set of different rules altogether over in wrestling, but still, man, he bounced off those ropes.
Sneaky power by Farooq. Sneaky. It's almost he jumps in there like Manny, not as active as Manny, but you got to lean in there and get it in there somehow.
McGregor just shoves Farooq off of him, and then didn't really take advantage of it. Just started tying up again, but he's dirtying this up still. He's like, this guy at range is faster and pretty powerful, and so he's content to dirty box it, which is fine.
Yes, totally. And I mean, Farouk's either going to have to figure out a way to work around it to get his shots off, or he's going to lose these rounds.
What I'm liking from Farooq here, when McGregor pulls that maneuver and he ties up and he starts punching, Farooq doesn't back off.
No.
Farouk's not waiting for the referee to break them up. He's punching him in the kidneys. Mm-hmm. He's going for that body.
Yeah, and he's paying back the favor. He's saying, McGregor, if you want to fight like this, I can go right down in the gutter with you.
Yeah, I can see why you liked Farooq going into this, because as rangy as McGregor is, Farooq is throwing a lot of tight body and chin shots and fighting around those looping hooks from McGregor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see, he'll let you graze the top of his head to roll under that and land one to the body or to your jaw. Super accurate.
Yeah, Farooq, what he's doing right now is he's covering up and sort of tilting forward, saying, you want to fight in close, I'll fight in close with you. So he's looking for uppercuts and opportunities to do short jabs inside.
And I was totally wrong. I didn't think he'd go to the phone booth already, but Farooq clearly sees something, and he's standing in that pocket with McGregor.
McGregor has sort of pushed him into it.
Yeah.
And he's just deciding, well, if this is where the fight's going to be, then screw it. This is where I'm going to fight it.
Yeah. Maybe McGregor believes he's just too powerful and that he can take it and that he's going to win that every time. But Farouk's staying strong.
So as round 3 ends, they kind of bump shoulders there. It's not no Nick Diaz stuff or anything. Nobody's jumping over the ring ropes, but you definitely saw a little bit of attitude as they separated.
And I mean, it's a good fight already just through 3 rounds, man. I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Yes, this is an action fight, which I'm very happy with. This is the kind of fight you want to see on television. We have a lot to talk about. I'm sure the commentators on ESPN are being given things to talk about. So, boy, have you watched those fights where it's just kind of 2 guys circling each other and you're like, well, after about 2 minutes of this, I have no idea what to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I will tell you this, Mark. Going into this 4th round, I wonder what McGregor's corner is saying now that they're in the pocket together. McGregor's got to start trying to land that uppercut. That's one of his money punches, and if he's going to be in the pocket like that, he's got to let it go.
I'd like to see him go back to, again, fighting at range. Get that jab out there, circle away from Farouk's power, and try to cut up those eyes a little bit.
Yeah. He's almost going away from the jab and is strictly doing just that check left hook.
Right, which hasn't worked for him most of the fight.
No, not at all. Farouk's head movement is just too good. He's focused, it seems. He's not going away from the head movement.
I feel like McGregor going into this was like, I'm going to knock this guy out. I've already got X amount of knockouts on my record. And so psychology-wise, he might be thinking, hey, this is big-time ESPN Plus card. It's it's a showcase opportunity. Let me knock this guy out, which I think is a dumb strategy.
Yeah, I do too. His record just shows that he would prefer to knock you out. I think he's gone the distance once, maybe twice. And so he's, and then not even deep waters most of the time. He's finishing guys quick. So this is going to be a real test to find out who McGregor is and what he's made of. Because Farooq looks stoic. He looks like he's sticking to his plan. He doesn't look to be wavering at all.
Yeah, psychology-wise, I have to wonder where his morale is because, he hasn't really been able to take advantage of Farooq after that first round. Farouk's been in this fight the whole time. His confidence might waver.
Yeah, and that's what I think that's what Farooq wants to find out. And I'm as a boxing fan, that's what I want to see. I want to know if McGregor has what it takes. I like what I'm seeing right here, fighting back, landing punches.
McGregor is punching down on Farooq, like he's coming almost like an overhand, and punching down on him. He's still hunting that knockout.
There's a cut under Farouk's right eye. I don't know how that happened, but it's starting to leak.
Well, I'm sure it doesn't help that McGregor keeps jamming his forehead into his face.
Yeah, he's hitting it with the forehead, the shoulder. Ooh, I like it.
Good body punches from Farooq. I would not want to be hit with those.
So Farooq just had a negative response to the way that McGregor was bullying him right there. So let's see how it goes from here on out.
So we see a lot of, once again, Farooq using that right when they get tied up. So he'll hook, and when I mean hook, like hang on to McGregor when McGregor tries to tie up, which leaves his right arm loose, and he just batters him about. Like, these are not pretty punches at all. He's just clubbing on McGregor.
Yeah. Man, that was a great round. I think I gave McGregor that round. He kept his plan was to dirty it up, but it worked, and he executed that plan to perfection in that round.
Very close fight, I think. How do you have
Absolutely.
it? How do you have it scored overall?
Through 4, I have it 2-2. I started out with McGregor winning that first round. Farooq, I think, took the next 2 rounds, and then that last round, I think McGregor took it back by just staying busy and bullying him the whole fight. That whole round.
Yeah, I can't say I disagree with that. I would say it's looked very even.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. Now, I hate to go to this part of, what we got to do, but this is boxing, hashtag boxing. McGregor's the A side. It's unification, but he is the A side, and he, someone's going to have to be a clear victor.
Flesh that out for me a little bit. What do you mean?
Well, I just, if a round is even and the crowd is rooting for one person, the judges are going to tend to go that way, I feel, most of the time. And McGregor being the A side, he might have the crowd on his side unless Farooq can change it. Okay. So close rounds,
Gotcha. He'll have the Canelo view, if you will.
Right. Maybe not as dramatic, but if a close round is there, I might want to assume that McGregor might take it.
Okay, that's fair. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, because he has a lot of output. Whether he lands or not, he's moving when he decides to. He can move Farooq around a little bit. So some of these rounds might be hard to score.
A lot of output from these guys. They really haven't stopped.
Yeah, not at all. Great. They're in great shape, man. I like it.
We covered a heavyweight fight from Premier Boxing Championships a couple of months ago on Fox. And I was, I think, a Polish fighter, and I can't remember who the other guy was. But that was
Kanaki and Areola.
Yeah. Where it looked like two zombies going at it.
They were that was amazing. And this one is right on that same vein. A little bit more skill. But
well, yeah, these two don't like they're fighting in a ring full of ether.
Yeah. At all. They're both they're trying to take the titles. I like that.
So McGregor there was flicking his jab out there, and he got Farooq a couple of times with it, but Farooq just walks through it.
Yeah. Yeah. Not only do I need McGregor to stay behind the jab, I need him to mean it sometimes. Stab it in there, stab him to the body. He hasn't really gone to the body much at all.
I'm noticing Farooq, and I think you mentioned this before. Farooq tends to plant his feet. Like another fighter might read him a little bit easier, in terms of knowing, okay, when is it coming? But by the same token, he's so fast. I don't know how much of a difference that makes. But I've noticed that he's content to just plant and throw.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas I've seen McGregor, I'm looking at McGregor's footwork, and he's definitely utilizing his footwork, trying to at least utilize it to his advantage.
Yeah, I agree. Farooq, I think, would prefer to control the middle of the ring and not move around. He would prefer to move at the hip and move his head, so that way he can put the power in his punches, whereas McGregor, being the naturally bigger fighter, is going to have weight behind those punches from almost no matter what the angle he's throwing. It makes for an interesting fight that we're seeing so far because they both have to acquiesce to each other's style sometimes.
McGregor also looks a little tired.
Yeah, his mouth has been open a couple rounds, but he's still throwing.
Yeah, no, he's not out there just leaning on him out of breath. But I don't see as much as we go into round 6. I don't know if I see as much snap in his step and throw as he had earlier on, and we're only halfway through this match.
Oh, yeah, I can agree with that. I can totally agree with that. I believe he's sometimes, like you said, with that jab, he's doing that jab and Farooq was walking through it. He's not putting much behind it. Now, I don't know if that's because he's, setting other punches up or if fatigue is becoming a factor in some of those punches.
So I think if you're in McGregor's corner, I think you're saying be a little bit more conservative with your movement. Try to score some clean shots. At this point, for McGregor, I think volume is his friend. Don't look for that knockout. Try to score as many. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as use the word pitter-patter, but land more punches than Farooq consistently, and he's probably got this on the scorecard when it goes the distance.
Yeah, I agree. As round 7 starts, you see Farooq pressing down on McGregor. And you're right. If I was in McGregor's corner, I would say, hey, double jab, triple jab, spin out, double jab, triple jab. Then when you get that foot outside of his, throw that too. But he should definitely be, staying at range, pointing him for the next couple of rounds. Because as you can see, Farooq seems to be coming on strong.
Farouk's shark's fin just came out. He's hunting and he sees blood in the water. I can see it in his eyes.
He looks so fresh still.
Yeah, no, he doesn't look like he's worn the last 6 rounds at all. McGregor's the one that seems a little bit frustrated, a little bit worse for wear. Especially and some guys just cut easier than others, but he looks a little puffy around the eyes. He looks like he's definitely taking some shots. Farooq, even though he has that cut, doesn't necessarily look like he's been battered about the face.
No, not at all. And Farooq is working the body at least more than McGregor, and McGregor has got to start going for that body. Farooq is not going to slow down.
No, but McGregor is making a classic mistake of guys who have had a succession of knockouts. He's headhunting.
Yeah.
And so he still thinks he can knock this guy out, and it's like, if you're his corner, that's got to be frustrating because if we're seeing it, they've got to see it too.
Yeah, and sometimes with these fighters, they it's hard to what they've been training to do the whole time, the punches that they've been throwing, it's hard for them to get out of that at that moment. However, I have not seen McGregor throw enough uppercuts. I'm sorry.
Did we have a slip or a foul there?
I think it was a slip.
Okay. Big overhand from Farooq. Doesn't find a target, but it looked nasty.
Tough round to score. I like the work Farooq was doing, but McGregor is landing a couple punches in between the work.
Farouk's just looking at McGregor like, I have had enough of you.
Oh, Farooq is coming on now. To the body, to the head. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Mark, they're trying to kill each other in this round, I think.
Yeah. I have to wonder if McGregor's like, well, I may or may not be winning on the scorecards. One never knows, so I should make it decisive.
Right. Yeah. And I appreciate McGregor for his heart, but I would prefer him to fight smart.
Yeah. I don't... Well, desperation fighting doesn't generally lead to victory.
Exactly. Man, that was a great round.
It was. Looking at McGregor's corner, yeah, he's looking a bit beat up.
Yeah.
I would be curious to see what his cardio, what his road work was for this fight.
Yeah, and also, like I said, before the fight started, he did have to strip down to make weight, whereas Farooq walked in, got on the scale, got off, and I'm not saying it's going to be a factor. I don't know what he did to make weight, but that's just something that's going to be in the back of my mind as we get in, going into round 8, going into those championship rounds. And as we can see, Farooq he's not even he doesn't even need his second win yet.
No, Farooq looks as fresh as he did in round 1, which has got to be frustrating for McGregor.
Absolutely. And it's the body work. I know it doesn't seem like much, but Farooq is working the body, especially compared to McGregor.
So I'm so frustrated that Ortiz Joshua 2 is going to be in the Middle East in the middle of the day when I'm working.
Ruiz Joshua.
Sorry, Ruiz Joshua. Like, as much as I'm okay with the location, I just wish it was at a time that I could actually watch the damn thing.
Yeah, I mean, I love the zone. It's just that sometimes I can't wake up at 4 a.m. to watch a movie or,
Yeah, no, I get it.
They got some great fights.
Yep, I've enjoyed it. I'll tell you, I've had these marathon fights where, like, I'll watch a UFC or WWE thing or AEW and then immediately go to the DAZN. DAZN famously delayed Canelo versus Kovalev so that we could get Diaz and Masvidal out of the cage. Good right from McGregor.
So are you seeing he's throwing that right uppercut now? I don't know why he waited so long, but it has been there for him the whole night. And now he's starting to throw it, and it has an effect. It's one of his best punches.
Yeah, he's backing Farooq up now. Farooq doesn't like it.
Yeah. And on my scorecard, I have Farooq up about 5 rounds to 2, but that could easily be 4 rounds to 3. You know what I mean? So this round could easily tie it back up, at least on my cards.
So the scales here have flipped a bit in this round. The narrative is changing. Farooq is now starting to tie up more than McGregor is. Mm-hmm. Farooq did not like those uppercuts at all.
No, he didn't. Maybe his corner reminded him. Maybe his corner got away and said, "Hey, this is the round. Start letting that uppercut go." And that's good work by his corner if that's his case, because it's definitely winning him this round.
Strong combination there from Farooq, and then McGregor tied up.
Oh man!
Just snaps off those lefts. My goodness, Farooq. McGregor comes back to the counter.
I'm seeing good movement by McGregor too, which speaks to his tank. I like that.
Yep, man. No, he's starting to move again.
Yeah,
he definitely took a round or 2 off there where I was suspicious that hey, maybe he didn't put the road work in, but now he's starting to fly around the ring again. I like it. He's bouncing. He's staying on his toes. That's got to be frustrating for Farooq.
This is his second win.
Because I don't think Farooq really wanted to be spending 4 or 5 rounds chasing him either, especially this late in the fight.
No, not at all. Yeah. I also think McGregor thought that his weight, his size was going to have a bigger effect on Farooq, have him wilt faster than he's liking. But Farooq stands in there, man.
They're starting to tie up more pretty often now.
Man, that was a good round. I think a good round for McGregor, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Right at the end there, Farooq threw his shot and just hit nothing. Definitely a much, much better round for McGregor.
Yeah, he looked good. Now, we'll see. Does he come back out just like that in the next round, or did he spend a lot of his reserves doing that in the 8th round? And this is why I love boxing. So much goes into it. We can find out who trained what, how they trained, how much they trained. It really tests the man against another man. I love it.
Yeah, this is good stuff.
Good for MTK taking advantage of their ESPN deal too, giving us a good fight like this.
Yeah, all year long there has been some. I've watched so much British boxing this year.
Yeah.
Either boxing taking place in the United Kingdom or in Russia. All of these, like I said, middle of the day ESPN Plus cards, and they've been great. There really hasn't been many duds.
Yeah, no, not at all. A lot of the zone cards on in York Hall with prospects, I like it, man, because now I just more information is better, especially when we want to see big fights. I want to know who's fighting who and who should fight who.
Yeah, I like not having to just depend on a quarterly $70 pay-per-view.
Exactly. It's great. Farooq a lot more active coming out in this round.
There's Farooq again, just digging into McGregor with that right. I mean, dirty as hell, but I love it. Just like, if you're going to grab me around the head like that, if you're going to tie me up, I'm just going to batter your ribs. I'm going to make you pay for it.
Man, the way this fight is going, I hate to see either one of them lose. They're both giving everything they got right now. It's great. Woo! Great body shot.
I would imagine a fight like this, when there's a spotlight on them, whoever wins this is probably going to get asked to come over to the States and fight one of the belt holders in the bantamweight division statewise. Oh,
I mean, absolutely. Now that they're connected, man, ESPN has quite a few bantamweights. I would love to see them. I'm trying to think who would be. Do you know of any names that would be a good matchup you'd like to see?
Not off the top of my head. I'd have to kind of look at some of the belt holders.
Yeah, because I'm not. I think Chocolatito. He's on the Zone, right?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I'll have to go through and look, but yeah, and you know what? To be honest, I'll watch both of these guys again, win or loss.
Sure. There was a guy on a PBC card. I don't remember what weight class. It was one of the lighter weight classes, but he headlined a card. His nickname was Heartbreaker. The lighter weight classes, he became my favorite fighter. He was great.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. When we get the little, when we get into these little weights, man, it's like 112, 118.
Well, there's only 900 belts in boxing. It's so easy to stay up to date.
Exactly. Man, Farooq staying in the middle, controlling it. So I would think for a judge in a round like this, when it's pretty even in terms of output and landed punches, I'm going to look at who's controlling the ring.
Starting to see a little fatigue on Farooq.
Yeah, I am too. I would think the way Farooq is landing to the body to tire him, McGregor said, I'm going to put my body on you to tire you. And it's working both ways, it seems.
This is going to be a close scorecard once we get to the end of it.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I do not want to be the guy scoring this fight. At all. Especially, with boxing's history, I don't want anything to do with it. I would be afraid to walk out of there. But, it is a great fight. I like what I'm seeing. They're giving us our money's worth. Whoever walks away with the belt really did earn it.
We talked earlier, before I hit the record button, about Deontay Wilder and Ortiz. They have a second fight coming up November 23rd, same night as NXT War Games, which is a problem for me. So who do you like in that one?
Well, Luis Ortiz, as we go into the ninth round, Luis Ortiz has made some changes. He hasn't, since he fought Wilder in the fights, he's come back, hasn't looked incredible, but his competition hasn't been incredible. But, working with his new strength and conditioning trainer, he looks great. He looks ready for this fight. However, I feel that Deontay Wilder does get better with each fight. His stamina is incredible. And I feel that he learned a lot from that Tyson Fury fight.
Yeah, I goofed on Deontay Wilder earlier, and I love Deontay Wilder, but boy, does he lack a lot in the technique department. And
absolutely.
He's a guy that I think, and they're trying desperately to make a big star out of, and I think he has charisma, but he also I have a boxing friend who Deontay Wilder has this thing where he kind of hits you with his wrist, and he was like, yes, in karate it's called a shote. So we've taken to just yelling that at Deontay Wilder when he fights, as we are in round 9 of 12, and these two are still going at it strong. Farooq a little hesitant now as McGregor kind of backed into the corner. He was throwing some rangy punches out there, and Farouk's kind of sat back a little bit rather, and kind of waited for McGregor to sort of expend himself.
I see Farooq has rededicated his attack to the body. I'm at 1 minute and 28 seconds. Where you at?
Minute 30.
Okay. Did you see how Farooq just got another cut from that shoulder there?
Yes. Yeah, I was going to mention it if you hadn't, that Farouk's left eye, there's a cut, looks like it's underneath the eye. Yeah. But undeterred, man. Still working the body, still oh, goodness gracious, look at those rights from Farooq leaping up.
Ooh, yes, man. But nobody wants to give in.
I thought he was going to yell out the, Shoryuken from Street Fighter with those right, the way he jumped. Jesus Christ.
Man, this has been a great fight, man. I don't know. I hope this is a fight that casuals should watch.
Sure. Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about it was, the unfortunate thing about boxing is we joked about there was 900 titles and there's a zillion boxers out there. But everyone kind of pays attention to those, Canelo, Wilder, Tyson Fury, Triple G.
Right.
Those,
golly. Take your time. I guess there's a little break. I was
going to say, I got to call my son in here. The last time he saw something like that was Rocky IV.
Oh yes. Man.
If this ends with somebody taking a chair shot to the head, I'm going to laugh.
Well, that would be crazy. Oh, Mark, speaking of bantamweights, MTK Global has to deal with ESPN, right?
Mm-hmm.
And guess who's a bantamweight that just signed with Top Rank?
Who?
Noya Inoue.
Oh, that's right. Perfect.
So that means that Louis Nery, who's a PBC, may not be one, but that also means that I don't think Nonino Donaire's done, and clearly 118 is his best weight. So, yeah, there's some fights there for these guys.
Absolutely. I'd love to see Inoue fight either one of these guys. Actually, I'd like to see Inoue and Farooq go at it.
Yeah, that would be great. I'd watch him fight McGregor, too. I think McGregor... I think this is a style matchup kind of thing here. I think McGregor has a lot of good still in him. So, if he loses this fight.
So I want to replay. That was a nice double leg takedown by McGregor.
Yeah. 10th round coming up. Now we're going to start getting into the nitty gritty. Now we're going to see who's who and what's what.
So the big question going into these last 2 rounds, especially for McGregor, is are they going to remain patient? Are they going to keep to their technique and continue to fight their fight? Or is this going to be, well, I'm out of time. Let me lay into this guy, see if I can get my knockout, and then open themselves up for a counter mistake that lands them on their ass.
Yeah. So did you see them talking with the ref right there? It looked like Farooq is a lot more calm still, not breathing as heavy as McGregor. And to me, that lends credence to, I would think Farooq is going to be more on his game plan, more focused in the end than McGregor. But every time we say that about McGregor, he starts showing more movement. He starts letting his hands go.
Hey, Jonas, you missed one of the boxers pick up another boxer and throw him through the ropes. I know. All right, we are back into it again, round 10. And McGregor, so what McGregor has done, and I saw it in the last round too, is he kind of likes to step back into the corner, invite Farooq in, then just unloads on him.
Yeah.
Like he's setting a trap.
I agree. I just don't think it's working as well because when he does that, Farooq lands to the body, and that's what Farooq wants to do. And Farooq has no problem. He has no problem giving up a shot to a head, as we can see right there.
Yeah, McGregor's doing a lot of baiting. Like he's definitely trying to invite Farooq in and see if he can take advantage of an opening that Farooq gives him when Farooq comes on strong.
It'll be interesting to see how these rounds are being scored because you have McGregor, you have Farooq coming forward, but you do have McGregor landing a little bit on the defensive end, but you also have Farooq landing with those lunging punches.
McGregor has done some dirty stuff in this fight.
Yeah.
I mean, he sort of leaned. I know he was leaning, and boxers lean, but the way he did it, Farooq almost went ass over tea kettle.
McGregor has been aware of his size and has tried to use it the entire fight.
Yeah.
Has not backed up at all. And now it's almost having a point taken away. Mark, I don't know if you're seeing this, but from the leaning and being warned, he just had a point deduction. It's going to be huge.
Yeah, that might cost him the fight. That was a gamble, and maybe in a different place with a different ref, they let him get away with it, but not tonight. Good snapping punches from McGregor.
Yeah. Knows he lost that point. He's going to try to do everything he can to get it back.
Big left hook from McGregor caught.
Low punch.
Right in the eye.
Now they're in the phone booth letting it go. Farooq with the sharper, shorter punches, but both guys are landing.
Yeah, that was a clean shot from Farooq to McGregor.
Yeah.
I mean, he stood there and he took it, but when I saw the punch land, it looks like McGregor's knees kind of shook a bit. Like I honestly thought he was going to drop there for a second.
Yeah. Yeah, I did too. He did look a little bit, I didn't like that, nor did my body react kindly to that. Championship rounds coming up. I don't know I honestly don't know what to tell you because every time I think something's going to happen, like McGregor's on his bench breathing heavy, but I feel like he's going to come out and throw everything he has right now.
Credit where credit is due. McGregor's chin is pretty impressive because he's taken good shots this fight, and he hasn't dropped, he hasn't gone to a knee, he hasn't begged off. And like I said, that last one was a great example where he took a clean shot to the chin. His knees buckled a bit, but he stood tall and he took it.
Yeah. McGregor has win or lose, which I do have Farooq on my cards going into the championship rounds. But that's just I feel like a lot of these rounds could be scored different ways. So I'd hate to be one of those three judges or an alternate. Championship rounds, baby. Show me what you got.
Round 11, and neither fighter has really taken their foot off the gas.
No one can really criticize either one of these fighters at the end of this fight, man.
No, and so many fights I've seen one guy who was too tentative, who overthought it, and that's not happening here.
No. Both these guys believe in their abilities, their skills, and their game plan. They've both stuck to it, no matter how dirty or non-boxing each one was, it's been great.
And that was the crazy thing about the Canelo-Kovalev fight, how much of that Canelo just opted to cover up. Those early rounds where he's just in a turtle shell the whole time, and you're like, oh, well, that's a new one for Canelo. Yeah, I haven't seen any of that here.
No, not at all. No high guard from the big fighter at all. So not even much catching from each fighter, just rolling and throwing 1, 2s, and 3s right after that, man. It's been great, man. They are, tearing each other's faces up.
Starting to see a pattern here of both of these guys engaging a bit and then tie up, engage.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see who can control their fatigue in these late rounds, not throw those punches, aiming for the fences, what I'm saying, trying to be smart with your energy.
A lot of blood on the shorts from both guys, I'm noticing.
Yeah. Man. Mark, I don't know, man. Who do you have going? Who do you have ahead so far?
I haven't been scoring them exact round to round to round, but I would tell you, I think Farooq's winning this fight.
Yeah, I would agree with you. However, man, it's been a really tight, close, good fight. Both guys exchanging to the body.
I mean, McGregor's definitely been more entertaining. You know,
Yeah.
he has done some pretty outrageous things in this fight, which I find wildly amusing. But I think as far as scoring direct hits, you know, who would I rather be in this fight? I'd rather be Farooq.
Absolutely. And McGregor has an exciting style, you know? For a big, taller guy, he's not just going to stay out here and paw you with the jab, keep you away. He's going to say, hey, come in here and let's throw these hands together. You know, people like that. However, I just think sometimes it's going to cost you in the end.
Digging punches from McGregor. He just walked forward and threw with everything he had in those final seconds of round 11.
Wow. These guys are letting them go. One more round. This has been great. I think McGregor did good work in that round.
What do you think of the cut around Farouk's eye? You saw it there when they showed the corner. The eye, the socket area around the eye. I'm pointing. This is audio, but the area around his left eye looks all cut up.
Yeah, it's not looking good. Luckily for him, it's only one more round. It's just, you know, a lot of this stuff goes to the scorecards. The judges are going to who looks the worst in the round when that punch, you know, they see blood squirting out and whatnot. But it looks like McGregor's plan has been paying off.
Yeah. So, as we go into round 12, if you're in McGregor's corner, what are you telling him to do for the next 3 minutes?
If I'm in McGregor's corner, I'm telling him to be smart, stay behind the jab, and land that too when you can. I would tell my corner, I think we got this, let's sew it up. Even if I'm McGregor's corner, I'm saying, let's win this. Let's win this last round.
And if you're
tied going in, but we can stay at range, we can win the fight from the outside.
Right. Don't overcommit. At this point, don't go for that 12th round knockout.
No.
Be conservative, be safe, take care of your face.
And that's what I kind of see him doing. He's moving around a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, make Farooq chase you. Farooq doesn't want to run around the ring.
No.
And tell you what, McGregor still has some bounce in his step, so good on him.
He really does. Yeah, and maybe we underestimated him by his physical appearance, but clearly he's in shape. Clearly he did the road work and put in the rounds. He made him stumble. It was a balance stumble, but that's going to look crazy on the cards.
Yeah, I don't know. This is definitely looking like McGregor's round because I don't think Farooq wants to be in there anymore.
No, yeah. And I think maybe Farouk's corner is saying, hey, be safe, don't give up too much, we got it in the bag. Yeah.
I mean, don't coast to victory, but
right.
that ends badly for anyone in combat sports. I don't know if you know the reference, but Misha Tate said that to her boyfriend fighter when he proceeded to lose by decision.
Oh wow! Well, that's no good.
Yeah, coast to victory.
I'd hope they didn't tell Farouk's corner that. I just said, hey, both corners should be around the same wavelength. Let's be smart, guys.
Right.
Let's try to be smart, but let's win it.
Well, neither guy is making any egregious mistakes in round 10 and 11. So it's not like you go into the round 12 and think, okay, he's doing X, you do Y. At this point, it's been an even fight. Try not to let him throw you out of the ring.
And just from an optic standpoint, it does look like McGregor's doing most of the work in this round. You know, he is bouncy still. He's sticking 1-2s out there.
Do you think that McGregor's sort of dirty boxing techniques, the push out of the ring, the point deduction, obviously mathematically is going to work against him, but do you think the judges take that into account when looking at their final scores? Do you think they, in a round where they might have been on the fence, like, well, the other guy's been fighting dirtier than the one, so I'm going to give it to the non-dirty fighter?
I'm not sure. McGregor has, muddied it up a little bit, but he hasn't done anything egregious, and he did lose that point. So I'm not sure how much the judges are going to put weight into, leaning his weight on him and whatnot. However, when he does that, Farooq is letting his hands go. So in those moments, it just depends on what the judges is giving the most weight to.
Yeah, they might be genuinely scoring it for Farooq because he's tagging him in those moments.
Right. But again, man, I would hate to be these judges. That's all I know.
And both fighters jump on their corner shoulders. We're going to have a chicken fight.
Yeah, we are. Oh, man, these cards are going to be crazy, Mark. This is boxing right here.
Oh, both fighters think they've got this one in the can. They both look pretty fresh. It's they both seem very happy with their performances. And, hey, this was a fun fight to watch. We'll see how it plays out on the judges' scorecard.
Yeah, this was a great fight. The fans in the arena should be happy. They all should be on their feet cheering these guys no matter who wins or loses because they gave us a show.
Well, it cracks me up because the common thing you hear is that, oh, boxing is dead. Nobody has any interest in boxing. But we started the show at the top by saying there's never been a better time to be a boxing fan. And I think if you can get past some of the negative headlines, there's a lot of great, exciting, fun boxing to be had if you're not sort of keeping your prejudices about you and you're open-minded and willing to watch two bantamweights from Scotland try to knock each other's heads off.
And you said it right there. There's just some politics stuff involved. You know, we got network stuff. You have people who are fans of networks. I don't care about any of that. And I think that's the difference between boxing and other sports in MMA. It's so loosely regulated as opposed to MMA, the UFC or whatnot, and other sports who have leagues. So we just want to see the good matchups, you know?
Right.
And whatever it takes for boxing fans to get that, let's do that.
Yeah, I don't care where they're airing these things.
Me either. At all.
Or who's promoting them or whatever. I just want to see good fights.
And you're right. Boxing is never going to die. Boxing is ancient. It's going to be around forever. It's been around since the beginning of time. Men have stood toe-to-toe and let their hands go.
Listen, so, if boxing didn't die during the Klitschko era, it's never going to.
Okay. And that was as close as it was going to get, right? I mean,
I watched a lot of those fights, man. I had epics. I watched Klitschko fight in Germany and on that white canvas with what looked like French fries. Ugh, look, all the credit in the world to Klitschko, but he was the cure for insomnia if I ever saw one.
Yeah, he was a great European champion. Not the most exciting, but was really good for boxing. I'm not gonna try not to denigrate him too much, but a lot of sport.
His loss gave us a cocaine-free Tyson Fury. Fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Only Klitschko could do that.
All right, and we are going to get our winner here at any moment. I don't know if you've got your sound up. I have my sound down.
It's down.
Okay.
But I can hear it a little bit. Yeah, man. Mark, this was a great fight to cover. I'm not gonna forget this, man. This has been a year of fights of the year, and you could literally throw this one right into that bunch.
Sure.
Oh.
Am I getting that this is going to be a split decision here?
Yep. Oh, wow.
All right.
Yes.
Your winner by split decision, Lee McGregor. What do you think? We've talked a lot. We've said this could have gone either way, but in the end, Lee McGregor pulled it out. People are dancing jigs in Scotland. It's a happy day. Give me your 50 words or less here to let's sum this night up.
Well, yeah, I have Farooq up on my cards, but in a close fight, you can never count it as a robbery. Both guys deserve to win. I would love to see a rematch. I would love to see both guys against better competition. Neither one of them should be ashamed of what they did. They both should be proud. And, hey, Mark, it was a great, great fight.
Well, I certainly appreciate you stepping into the booth with me and calling this. I will absolutely check out your site. Why don't you go ahead and tell them what that site is again, what you guys are working on, and where they can find you?
Yeah, Mark, again, thanks again for having me. This was a great experience and opportunity. Everybody listening, you can go to hoopsandbrews.com/boxing. You can go on Twitter and find me find us at Boxing and Brews, and you can find me as well on Twitter at Insecurity Guide. Once again, Mark, this has been great. It was a great fight, and I really had fun, man.
Absolutely. As always, you can check out the Radulich Broadcasting Network wherever you listen to podcasts, also on YouTube. We originate out of Spreaker.com under Radulich Broadcasting. This week was Stephen King week all week long. We looked at Stephen King's N on source material. We reviewed Dr. Sleep on Damn You Hollywood. We took a time out to review the new Rumahoy Time to Party with Captain Yarface. And finally, we did an on-trial for The Shining. Next week, we've got a slew of shows for you. We've got The Boys Volume 1, The Name of the Game, from source material. We'll have a Damn You Hollywood review of Ford versus Ferrari. We have a double punch of shows. We've got Dragon Force Extreme Power Metal on the Metal Hammer of Doom, and Alexis Hana of Honeysuckle Rose Creation steps in for a TV party tonight to discuss She-Ra Season 4. And finally, myself and Jesse Starcher will give you a review of The Boys Season 1 from Amazon Prime on TV party tonight. We've got lots of boxing coming up over the next few weeks, so hopefully we'll have Jon War on again. This has been the Radulich Broadcasting Network Alternative Commentary, McGregor versus Farooq. Be well, be safe, and behave.